What's going on, everybody? This is Copy801 coming at you with episode 6. Let's reverse that. 6 of Copy801 Talks. Now, I have had a different guest on every time I've done this show, but this time I decided that I would just, have myself for this time. Just because, it's it's a pretty chill week, and I've got a couple cool things, going on my channel, and I figured I would, just do that. Also, it is Memorial Day weekend, and everyone is probably going to be with their families this weekend, celebrating any sort of things going on, saying thank you to our soldiers, having a good time, as always. But the weather today wasn't exactly too good, but hey, that's alright. And let's take a look and see who's here so far. So we got Something Wong. What's going on? Thanks so much for showing up. And, I don't expect to have too many people in today, which is absolutely fine. Usually I've got an exciting guest coming in. But like I said, today is a very chill day, Just kind of, yeah. Yeah, the weather was rotten. I know over here in Long Island it hasn't been too good, but hey, what can you do? So, we got Fuzzy Dunlop just showed up. What's going on, Fuzzy? Thank you so much for the little shout out for the 200 subs. I'm looking to try and get 250 by the time that Terrificon rolls around, because I will be at Terrificon. So that way, if I want to get an interview with somebody or if I want to talk with anyone, I feel like 250 is a good number. Right now I'm at 200 on the nose. So, excuse me, once again, thank you so much, everyone, for the 200 subs. It is phenomenal. I started this literally right when the year began, and seeing all these people on, I'm like, hey, you know what? I could throw my 2 cents in there too. Maybe people actually listen to what I have to say. Maybe they won't, but hey, I'll give it a shot. And the community's been awesome. I think I say that all the time about how awesome this community is, and it really never gets old. It never gets old, and it's just kind of a common thing. And I do thank everyone who is here with me live for taking the time out of their day, out of their weekend, come on in and say hi. I know there's a lot of different shows going on, so definitely, thanks a bunch for that. And on that note, I will get along to what I was going to do. I don't expect this show to last more than, maybe a half hour, if I'm lucky, just because it is a it is a very chill one-man show. But first thing up, I have, as my little thumbnail said, I do have, a couple of announcements. And the best way for me to do that is going to be to literally just put up the thumbnail as a segue. So, announcements, channel update, new shows, and chop up. So the channel update, I would say, is, the 250 goal. I'd like to hit 250 by the time Terrificon starts. That way, it'll help give me some credit when I'm at Terrificon because, 200 is all well and good, but 250, that's kind of like, oh, okay, ooh, you're getting up there. So anytime I've got stuff going on, I appreciate everyone who shares. I would say just continue doing that. Spread the word. Who knows? There's probably a couple of DC fans that are out there that are, under the woodworks that'll come out, watch everything now and then. Sorry, that was just the cat. She sneezed. And on that note, on to the next thing. So I have 2 new shows that are going to be coming out. I'm going regular, and the other one is going to be like a now and then thing. It's going to be a long, it's going to be under a long duration of time. And I will start with that. So, as some of you may or may not know, when this thing loads incredibly slow, I have a copy of this book right over here. I got a copy of All-Star Comics number 3, and it is my holy grail because I am a very big Justice Society of America fan, huge fan. And one of my collecting goals was to get a copy of this book. Well, I found one, and I bought it. It is missing the front and back cover. It is missing the first and the second wrap. The pages are very brittle, but it's mostly complete. And this show is entitled All-Star Comics 3 Restoring a Grail. And the first one is going to be episode 1, The Beginning, which I'll go over this in greater detail. But, thank you. I certainly hope so. A lot of people have shows that are out about, they show their grail. And they're like, oh, I made this deal. I talked to this person, and I made a really good deal on this grail. And sometimes they'll say the price, sometimes they won't. Sometimes they'll say who they got it from, sometimes they won't. But I'm going to be completely transparent on everything with this series. I'll let you know in the first episode how much I spent on it, where I got it from, what I've done with it, when I got it. And I just sent it off to Hero Restoration to get it evaluated and restored. Now, this will not be a complete copy. Oh, hey there, what's going on? Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, the Golden Age is freaking fantastic. There are so many good books, and the art is so unique that it's really difficult for collectors to collect Golden Age. So usually my personal advice, limit it to a couple if it's a really, popular team or a popular character. And yeah, Fuzzy, thanks. Sounds interesting. I don't know what goes into things like restoration, so it'll be exciting to see. So before I sent this off, I actually did some research as to what was needed because, I was thinking, hey, maybe I can do some minor restoration myself. Just a little bit here and there, maybe get some facsimile things done. I was thinking maybe I could print this myself, but sorry, I had to take a drink of coffee, but unfortunately that is not the case. This is a very poor condition copy. Right now it's a 0.5. And It's not complete. It's a 0.5. The pages are very brittle. And the pictures that you see right now up on this thumbnail on the screen are pictures of my actual book. These are pictures that were taken from the listing that I bought it from. And this is the actual copy of the book that I have. The pages are brittle. You know, as you can see, the great thing is that the centerfold is intact, but it does have a really nice rust stain where the first staple was. But anywho, I'll be going over what happens with this. And hey, what's going on, Lasso? How are you? Thanks for stopping by. So maybe you can get it to a 1.0 qualified by the time it's done. No covers at all. Yeah, so it's no cover. It will be a restored. I don't know whether it would be a restored or a qualified. I'm thinking because it's going to have and I'll get to those two in a minute. I don't know what the actual criteria 100% is for a qualified. As far as I know, a qualified for CGC is if you have, if you have an issue and like there's something missing on it. Like if for a Marvel book, if you have the issue and you have the Marvel stamp missing, as far as I know, you'll get a qualified because the Marvel stamp is missing. But mine is going to be a completely restored copy. So Fuzzy says, is there any reason why you chose 3 more important than 1 or 2? So yes, All-Star Comics 3 is the very first appearance of the Justice Society of America. All of these characters have appeared in previous books. They were in some of the All-Star Comics 1 and 2, and they had their separate stories, but this is the first time that they meet up. This is actually the very first superhero book ever. So this is the first superhero team that was ever created in the Golden Age. And this predates every other superhero team. And I just love this team. And yes, Lasso, I did purchase an All-Star 3. It is in very bad condition. It is sent off to Hero Restoration right now. They probably have it, but it is not been quote unquote received yet. Let me get this thumbnail off. But yes, they have technically received it without listing it as received. So yes, they do have it. And I'll be taking you guys along with me as I get the book restored and as Hero Restoration sends me updates. I will be taking the photos they send me, taking, screenshots of the emails that I get, and I'll be taking you guys along with me to a ride. Can I find an All-Star 8 cheap? So here's the thing about All-Star 8, just to digress really quick. All-Star 8, I think, is worth more than 3 because it's the first appearance of Wonder Woman. And All-Star 3 is the first appearance of the JSA, but they're the first, but their value has not gone up. There's no the value of it has not gone up as much as other Golden Age books from that period. We've got Detective Comics 27 that came out in 1939. We got All-Star Comics 1, which I think was 37, and All-Star Comics 3 came out in I want to say winter 1940 to 1941. So it came out in 1940, and that's a year after the first appearance of Batman, and the book's not worth as much as you would think. I mean, right now there's no copy that's complete listed on eBay at all. Everything is the same condition as mine, or a little bit better, missing the first, second wrap and coverless. And those are going for, full disclosure, 25, 3,500. You know, once I get it all said and done, it's going to be a 1.0, as far as I know, restored, because it will be complete, but it'll be restored complete, because it'll have, you know, a facsimile cover, first and second wrap, and they're going to restore the pages. The damn thing's going to smell like a chemical bath, but I do not care. And I am not getting it slabbed. It will be raw. It will be in a very nice shiny mylar, because right when I get the book back, I've already read it. I've read All-Star 3. I have the All-Star archives that came out in, I'd say, the late 90s, early 2000s, I think. But I don't have the raw, obviously. But I will read it. So that's going to be the first thing. And do I plan on getting hero restoration on the videos? Yes, I do. I plan on getting them on, when it's like halfway done, because it's going to take a while. Like, if you look on their website right now, there's a 16-month waiting period on heavy restoration for books, and this book requires it. I'm going to see if I can get it before that time period, because I want to get this book back before Black Adam comes out, because Black Adam's going to come out, and everyone and their mother, I guarantee this, I will bet money on this, they're going to be covering all the Black Adam spec books. They're going to be covering some of the Infinity Inc. books. They'll be covering some of the All-Star Squadron books, like, first appearance of Atom Smasher. That's been popular every now and then. They'll be covering some of the Shazam, the Dr. Fate books, even some of the modern ones, because Cyclone's going to be in there, like Justice Society of America 1 from, I think, like 2005, 2006. They'll be covering that. But I'll be the only one that's like, yo, you want something to cover? Here you go. And then I just show off the book. Do I plan on selling it? Absolutely not. Someone would have to offer me a crazy amount of money for me to sell it. But it is definitely worth what I'm going to pay to get it restored. And what's going on, Justin? How are you? Happy Friday, yes. It will definitely be worth the money. The value is going to, once I get it restored, it's going to, at a bare minimum, triple in value, but it's not for the value. It's because this is a part of history. But again, I will digress and show you guys the next little thing that I plan on doing, which is going to be a weekly thing. Nope, that is not the right one. See? Make mistakes live. So, every Wednesday night or Thursday night, I don't know whether it'll be pre-recorded or live. It depends on my work schedule. But I'm going to be doing... I'll trade you a Dean Cain autograph for it. There will be a cold day in hell before I do that. Maybe a Betty White autograph. I might take it. No, I'm kidding. But I will be doing a little review show of all the books that I get on New Comic Book Day. And I'll be starting that next week. I was going to start it this week, but my job is quite busy for Memorial Day. So I have not had time. I should review Marvel books. If someone sent me a Marvel book in the mail and was like, yo, this would be hilarious if you reviewed it, I mean, I would do that. But I don't read Marvel. I really don't. I've been a DC reader for years and years and years. I'm talking like my whole life. My father had DC and Marvel books, but when I'm like 5 years old, the DC books were the ones that caught my eye. And I guess, like an old pair of shoes, you get comfortable with what you get comfortable with. So I will be doing reviews of all the books I pick up each week. But, I don't just read DC. There are quite a few. That's why it would be a good segment. That'll be like Roger from 3 Men in a Basement when he reviewed all the Future State books. Oh, those were great. I really wish I could have gone on the show with him. That way we could just chop it up there. That would have been hilarious. But it was fun in the chats. But yeah, I do read a couple of independent books. Like, I read Deep Beyond every week that comes out from Mirka Andolfo. I read Inkblot. I'm reading Noctera. I don't think there's many people that aren't reading Noctera. I read Geiger again. I feel like practically everybody's reading Geiger too. But then again, Jeff Johns is a freaking monster. He's insane. I'm reading Magic, The Gathering. I figured, I'll give it a shot. I'll see if I like it. And I actually did like it. And I am reading all of the Absolute Comics Group books as well. I need to catch up on some of the ones that I wasn't reading. I read White Widow. That was my first introduction to it. I don't even remember how I stumbled across that, but I got that, and then they announced they're doing a shared universe. So I'm like, fledgling company doing a shared universe. That's pretty cool. So I picked up all the other books in a Kickstarter, and I haven't even gotten a chance to start that. Only talk about Magic the Lasso. That's freaking hilarious. The dad jokes are here. But I also do some of the Kickstarter stuff. Like there's a company called it's called Iconic Comics, and they put out Cayman America and a couple of other ones that are there. I like those. They're a very, East meets West art style, but the dialogue is great. I legit laugh at the dialogue. It's fantastic. So, when I get a Kickstarter in, I'll review that, but I'm going to be reviewing all my stuff for the week. And with that being said, let me get the cat up. Hey, come on. Up. There you go. Good girl. I'm going to show you folks what I got this week and let you know why I did not start it this week. Because I read a grand total of one book that came out this week. And I read that yesterday. I'll read the rest this weekend. But I grabbed Harley Quinn #3. The B cover. I'm getting all the B covers. This has actually been a very good, very well written. The art, on the other hand, I don't know about that. But there we go. Sneeze right on camera. Beautiful. My allergies have been killing me today. I really do apologize. So if I get into like a sneezing fit for 10 seconds, don't mind me. So, do a show with the contents of the Chewy box behind me. I don't even know what's in that, to be honest. I got to check that out. But I picked up Ruby Justice League #2, the B cover for that. I just thought this B cover was phenomenal. I picked up #1 and I got halfway through it, and I got to read the rest of it, full disclosure. I picked up Teen Titans Academy #3. I got the B cover for that as well, just because I liked it better than the A cover. And then I got Batman Superman #18. Picked up the A cover. Didn't really like the B. But this arc that they're doing has been phenomenal. I have loved every issue of this arc. It has been an absolute godsend. And this book right here, I picked up as well. I got Stargirl Spring Break Special #1. Now, I posted this on Instagram yesterday, and I've been talking about this book incessantly. It has been so good. And as a JSA fan, like, Stargirl is in that whole area. freaking fantastic. Fantastic. This book, if I were to review this book, I would give it a 9.5 out of 10. Like, that's how much I enjoyed it. It was so good. So good. And I know Justin posted this book that he read it. So, let me know what you think about this. It was really good. We had a little bit of retroactive continuity in that, if you guys are familiar, there's a Golden Age superhero team called the Seven Soldiers of Victory, which had, literally like a bunch of Golden Age heroes. Like a bunch of Golden Age heroes. So we had Starman, we had Vigilante, and I'm looking at the book right now. We had Starman, Vigilante, the Star Spangled Kid, Shining Knight, Stripesy, along with Green Arrow and Speedy. And the funny thing is that we find out in this issue that Oliver Queen and Speedy got transported back in time, and that they are actually the Golden Age Green Arrow and Speedy, which was a real interesting reveal. And, in this book, there was some good characters that were in there that were introduced, or reintroduced, I should say. But there was also two really awesome things that happened. There were two really cool pinups. So this is the one of the Seven Soldiers of Victory. And like, they did it in the Golden Age style, which I loved. But the last book, the last one, there was an epilogue. And if you don't want to hear this, mute this. Let's see what Justin said. He said it was good, but I don't know any characters, so it was sort of hard to get into. Justice League, Justice Society, Society of Justice, Justice Society, too many names. So let me give you the history in under a minute. The Justice Society of America is the original superhero team in DC. They are the golden age of heroes. And through a couple of things that happened, some of the members of the Justice Society have not aged. So they continue to be quote unquote young, or they age at a much slower rate, which is why they are still around in modern DC continuity. So originally it was said in the Silver Age that we had Earth 1, which is the Justice League, and Earth 2, which was the Justice Society. And then they molded them together, and that's how we had the multiverse. But now we have the Justice Society and the Justice League. They both existed, simultaneously. So right now, in DC continuity, we have both the Justice League and the Justice Society. So the Justice Society has their own menagerie of villains and stuff that they face off with. Same thing with the Justice League. But the Justice League go to them when they need help, because they are the legacy heroes. They're the ones that are, have more experience, are wiser, which is crazy when you come to think of it, that, we've got Batman and Superman. But that's a whole other story. Pretty much the Golden Age Superman and Batman died, which is why they're not there. So we can get to that another day. But in modern DC continuity, if you want to know the status of the Justice Society, read the Justice Society of America volume from the mid-2000s, because there were two volumes. There was JSA. At the same time, there was JLA in the late 90s. And then in the mid-2000s, there was Justice Society of America, which was, the pretty much like the most modern iteration of the team, and was JSA All-Stars. So the JSA All-Stars was when the Justice Society splintered into two separate groups. Half of them went here, half of them went here. They would help each other out, but it was a whole thing that happened, but the Justice Society is back together. And No Good Comics, Justin says, would Justice League beat them, or who's stronger? To be honest, it depends on the situation. I'm not going to say one would beat another, hands down, 100% of the time, because you have different like levels of power. Like I'll compare two people very quickly. So you have Alan Scott Green Lantern, and you have Hal Jordan Green Lantern. Silver, gold. Hal Jordan's Green Lantern, his ring has the power of the emotional spectrum, willpower. And his power is derived from the willpower part of the emotional spectrum. He can create constructs, all this. He was at one point weak to yellow, but that's all done now. Alan Scott's ring is a manifestation of what's called the Star Heart. The Star Heart is a literal representation of magic in the DC universe. His powers are magic based, so it's different. But the way he can construct things is based on willpower as well. So they kind of borrowed that when they made Hal Jordan. So their powers are virtually the same. But Alan Scott is super young because of what happened to him in the Golden Age and because of the Star Heart. Because if anyone's familiar, Hal Jordan at one point becomes pure willpower. That storyline was borrowed from a JSA storyline in the early 2000s where we find out that Alan Scott is legitimately merged with the Star Heart and becomes pure magical willpower. So, but he's weak to wood, which is it's interesting. They had to give him a caveat, but Alan Scott is a ridiculously powerful member of the JSA. Could he take Hal Jordan? Because of his experience, he could. And could Hal Jordan beat him? Maybe, depending on the situation. Another one is Garrick the Flash. So Garrick is the first Flash. He's the Golden Age Flash. He's not as fast as Barry. He's certainly not as fast as Wally. But he's got more experience under his belt. He knows certain things that, Barry or Wally might not. Even though he's not as fast, he has intelligence and he has vigilance behind him. So if we're talking speed, he would lose. But if we're talking strategy, then there's a chance that he could win. So it's a really, really tough call as to who's stronger. But I just like this team better because the Justice League, they go in, yeah, they have to use some strategy, but they usually go in, guns blazing, and they try and overpower their opponents. The Justice Society, they kind of do that, but they use a lot more strategy. I feel like they have to think a lot more creatively because they have so many people that are not as powerful as members of the Justice League. Just because you're a powerhouse does not mean that you are, that you're smart. And that's where the Justice Society comes in. And I got a couple compliments from the chat. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, it is pretty tough to beat Batman. I will say that because he's got prep time. and we got Fuzzy, like the KRS-One of DC, respect knowledge. Well, thank you, man. I mean, anyone can get a good amount of knowledge. It's just how far do you want to dive deep into it? But this is what excited me at the end of this issue. Was in the epilogue, we got this big, huge, full-page spread of the Justice Society of America. This huge, monstrous spread. And if you look closely, you might say to yourself, hey, I see the same character more than once. Yes, you do. And I'll tell you why. Because this represents the Justice Society throughout the years. This, on this side here, is the Golden Age Justice Society of America. On this page up here, this represents the Bronze Age team for the Justice Society of America. And the colored portion represents the modern iteration of the Justice Society of America. And I'm going to sound like a dork, and I don't care. But when I saw that and I read the epilogue, it gave me so much hope to a new series coming out, which is something I desperately want. I stared at that for like 5 minutes just in awe. Like, oh my God, that is so freaking awesome. It is beautiful. I was like, yo, yeah, yeah, beautiful 2-page spread. Absolutely. It was, and you saw changes in their costume too. That was the best part. Like, they got everything spot on. And yeah, I appreciate that a lot, Justin. You know, the next book that's going to come out, this is a prequel. This book was a prequel to Stargirl #1, which will be coming out this summer. The main story was the prequel to that. So if you want to try and dive into the JSA, do that. Go for it. This is supposed to be like, because of the popularity of the Stargirl TV show, they kind of were like, hey, you know, the Stargirl TV show is doing pretty good. But, you know, fantastic. And if you look this up online, like if you get it digitally, you know, you'll see. You just take a look, and there's going to be a lot of characters that you don't recognize, but read up on them. Like, there are some powerhouse people to this team. Like, I'm gonna leave this up. I'll see if I can point them out one-handed for you. So, right up here, we've got Alan Scott. Over here, we have Adam Smasher, who's going to be, by the way, in the Black Adam movie. We have Stargirl over here. We have my cat rubbing against this, because that's the cat. We've got the new Dr. Midnight. We've got the new Wildcat. We've got Johnny Thunder and the Thunderbolt. We've got Stargirl. We have Obsidian. Obsidian is another really, really interesting character. And you need to get up. Come on. Obsidian's a really interesting character. So he's from kind of a shadow dimension, and he can literally like cast shadows. The best thing I could think of that would be even slightly similar is like Eclipso. How he just kind of like takes he uses kind of like shadow powers, also kind of like Shade, but he's a good guy. He's a good guy, yes. Come on. No. Okay, she's going to come up anyway. So clearly I have no power. We've got Jay Garrick right up here. We have Hawkman. We have Mr. Terrific. Holt. I'm totally forgetting his first name. But he's a genius. He is proclaimed to be the third smartest person in the entire DC universe. Him and Batman could go back and forth. That's how smart he is. And he's got the tech to prove it. We have Dr. Fate, the modern iteration. Dr. Fate, I mean, for all you Marvel readers, he's literally he is legitimately like the Sorcerer Supreme of the DC universe. You want magical power? Dr. Fate's got it. And then we've got Power Girl, who is more muscle for the team. And she's very, very powerful. She's very, very strong too. That's someone you definitely don't want to, you don't want to underestimate her. You have Cyclone, who has like air-based powers. Literally, she can literally make a cyclone. Similar, I'd say she has similar powers to Red Tornado. And then over here, we have Our Man. And his power is that for 1 hour, he gets super strength. And, endurance, durability. So any sort of, book or character that's like, hey, they have a limited amount of time to use your powers. That's where they got it from. They got it from that guy. And it brings strategy in because it's like, yo, I've only got an hour to use these powers. I got to make the most of it. So, and we got Tim, the comic collector. What is going on, man? Thank you for coming by. And then I missed this one. Magic Lasso said that the Bronze Age JSA is my jam. Absolutely. That team in the Bronze Age was completely, overpowered. At times even more than the Justice League. But yeah, that was my books for the week. And I've got a little itty-bitty haul to share with you guys. And out of that haul, I will be giving away one book for my 200 subscriber giveaway because I hit 200. I announced my 250 giveaway last week. I'm going to be doing a separate video once I actually hit that goal. But for this one, I'm going to do a 200 subscriber giveaway book. It's not going to be a huge book. Thank you, Justin. I want to try and hit 250 by the time Terrificon comes around. But I will be giving away because I went to a shop that I don't normally go to. I go to them for back issues, and they're out of the way for me. But, I got something here, and there you go. Good girl. She got up for me. So, full disclosure, some of them are in bags and boards. Most of them are, some of them are not. And I know exactly which book I am giving away. So let me just make certain that that one is at the bottom. Okay. The giveaway book's at the bottom. What is the name of the shop? I don't remember. I know it's the oldest operating comic shop on Long Island, though. That's all I remember. But full disclosure, I paid $100 for all these books, which is a great deal for me. I got Adventure Comics number 417. I am filling out my Adventure Comics run because I've collected most of the modern stuff that I want. Adventure Comics number 399. And these are all in pretty good shape. We got Adventure Comics 390. And it looks like it reprints that interesting story with Comet, which is something we don't speak of. Lasso knows. And I picked up these because I plan on reading this. So these were in their dollar bin. I picked up Justice League Odyssey number 3 number 14, number 17, number 18, and number 19. Because this came out, and I was like, I kind of missed out on it. We got 19, 18, 17, 14, and 3. Cool covers. I collect all Justice League stuff, so right up my freaking alley. And then I did not have this cover. This is I think the A cover for Justice League Dark number 4, volume 2. Really cool half lenticular one. Nice Swamp Thing cover. It's got Swamp Thing. It's got Swamp Thing, Detective Chimp, Man-Bat, and Wonder Woman on the cover. Really cool looking one. Really cool looking cover. And I'm also collecting these. This is Justice League of America number 114. 100-page special. I collect all the Justice Society, Justice League crossovers. So I got that one. And then we got Action Comics number 306. Right over there. Nice 12-cent goodness. We got Action Comics number 365. More 12 cents. We got Action Comics number 674. Cool Supergirl cover. I was surprised I didn't have that. And the cat's back. You gotta go away for a few minutes. Come on. Come on. I know you don't want to. We got Action Comics number 673. And this is not Supergirl related at all. I found this at my shop. This is actually one of... I mentioned earlier that that my father had a couple of comics. And I saw this cover and was like, holy crap, this is one of them that he used to have. So this is just purely sentimental. This is like a $1 book. But again, sentimental. Something I remembered reading when I was like 5. We got Action Comics number 3. I keep saying 3. 678. And this is a nice, cool Matrix cover with Lex Luthor when he was, a redhead. I got Injustice 2. Another cool cover I found. I'm not collecting the run, I'm just collecting those. And I got this because, I like collecting these little things, like the little compilations that they come out with. So I got New Talent Showcase from 2018. We got Jon Stewart. We got for Lasso. We got Wonder Woman. We got Batman for Justin. We got Catwoman, Constantine, and Zatanna. I never saw this before and was like, hey, for a couple bucks, why not? And then we got Action Comics number 850. Cool looking cover, from the 2000s. I like the retro logo they got going on there. And I picked up Superman Family number 222. This is the last Superman Family issue. And it is in quite nice shape. You already know when you're collecting a run, you know how difficult it is to get the last issue. So I was very happy to get this. And this is the book that I'll be giving away for my 200 subscriber giveaway. No bag, no board. But I found this. I paid cover price. It's got it's a half white cover. It's got some fading. It's got like 2 ticks. But I know these books are going for quite the amount of money on eBay. We've got Zatanna number 10. And when I say this shop is beautiful for back issues, I found JSA All Stars, I think number 3 or 4, the first appearance of Courtney Whitmore as Stargirl. Again, cover price $2.99. Things like a $50 book. I found that last year. But yeah, I'm going to be giving away this bad boy. I don't think there's no way in hell you're going to get a 9.8 if that's what you want. You know, if you give it a nice clean and you get the discoloration out of the top, which you'll be able to see, it's discolored. This is how I found it. And it's got two couple ticks right there along the spine. Overall, though, it's a nice copy. Very nice copy. But, you know, any Zatanna book is going for like, from this run, good luck trying to find one for like less than $20. But, you know, I paid Jack for it, so figured it'd be a cool giveaway item when I saw it. I'm like, hey, what would people want? I saw this, and I'm like, this just came right towards me. So this will be my 200 subscriber giveaway book. And all you need to do is leave a comment on this video. And then I'll let it marinate for about a week's time. So next Friday, for my show, I will announce the winner. So we've got that. And yes, I am making this open to international people as well. So that means you could enter Too Fuzzy. The only thing is that we split the shipping. That's all. Because international is a little bit much. So you can get all of your international buddies in on this too. But yeah, Zatanna number 10 will be my 200 subscriber giveaway book. Nice little baby book right there. And that was literally all I planned for this show. Let you guys know what's going on with my channel, do a haul. I appreciate the questions that you guys were asking in the chat. I really do. Helps to move things along. You know what I'm saying? If there's something that I could answer, I got no problem doing that. In fact, I love it because everybody's got questions. Hell, I got questions. And there's one more thing that I am doing. And Fuzzy, no problem, man. No problem. Everybody's got to give back. No matter how big or how small, everyone gives back. But I did my first Cgc submission, guys. First Cgc submission. And I'm selling all the books, but I did it on a bunch of Gold Digger books. So if any of you have visited my channel early on or on Instagram, you'll hear me talk about it once in a while. It's a really good independent comic series. I don't collect the individual issues. I only collect the gold bricks, which are the, I guess you can call them omnibus. Yeah. Yeah, it's about to be. But, Lasso, I have no idea. I just submitted them. I submitted them to a very popular member of the community, Erod212, and he's currently taking care of them. It took him he was in a 4-month backlog to clean and press. I had him clean and press them. He sent them off to CGC last week. So I've got 6 months until they show up. But, as things go along, as I get updates from that, I'll share them with you guys. But as for the process, I have no idea. I've been hearing a lot of weird stuff with CGC. Honestly, I'm kind of glad that I'm submitting it now because I'm hoping by the time they get to my books, all the issues that are going on there will be pretty ironed out. So that way I don't have to worry about weird grades or crappy service or whatever. But I submitted, I think, like 9, maybe 10 Gold Digger books that I will be selling next year because they're going to hit 300 issues next year. They are hitting 300 issues. This will be literally the third independent series to hit 300 issues, and they're going to go big. I've actually talked to them. I talked to them earlier this year, and they plan on very big things. They don't even know what they're doing yet, but I do plan on having, maybe someone from Antarctic Press or the creator of the book, Fred Perry, on my channel to promote the 300th issue. But that's not going to be until like next year. Hopefully by then I'll have 500 subscribers. Holy crap. But yeah, that's what's going on. Got a lot of cool stuff in the making, got a lot of cool stuff going on, and I appreciate all of you guys hanging out, coming by, stopping in, leaving comments in the chat, hitting the like button on the video, and that's all I got. Again, 200 subscriber giveaway. This bad boy right over here. This is not a 9.8. I will never claim it'll be a 9.8. It has flaws. But if you're looking for a very nice copy of a hard to find modern book, especially with all this Justice League Dark talk and the Zatanna movie talk, get this bad boy right over here for free. And on that note, as Fuzzy said, it is 3:30 in the morning. Jesus, man. Go to frickin' sleep. Go to sleep, man. And everybody else on the East Coast, stay up, go to sleep, whatever you want. I appreciate everyone. I thank you so much for stopping by. And leave that comment when the video is over to be entered. And I'll announce the winner on next Friday's show. Hit that like button. I would hope you're subscribed to the channel. If you're not, hit that subscribe button. I got more cool stuff coming out. And I will be having some guests on next week. Next week we are back to normal. I will not tell you guys who I am having on. However, what I will say is I do not think that any other YouTube channel has had this group of people on yet. I don't think so. So this might be a first, which will be even cooler. But yeah. Take care, everyone. Have a good night, and remember, collect what you like and don't let anyone tell you differently. Peace.